All right, good morning. Welcome to the Coaching Use podcast. We are live. It's about 7:30 a.m. Central Time. It's not too early, not too early. I'm glad that you are up with me if you are live listening. My name is Donovan. I am your host. And today we're going to be talking about creating the perfect customer experience using journey mapping. We're also going to implement Facebook ads into that because journey mapping is really a key strategy that's used by any successful executive or CEO. Essentially, if it's a process that needs to be created, it needs to involve a journey map being created as well. We're going to get into all of that as well. Some of the topics we're going to go over today. Number one, what is journey mapping? What is journey mapping? Number two, what are some common use cases for journey mapping? Number three, the best tools to use for journey mapping. Number four, how to implement journey mapping into your Facebook ad campaigns. All right, so we're going to talk about four key topics today. We're going to be here every week, multiple times a week, usually about 7:30. Sometimes it may be 6:30 a.m. You'll get, if you're on our email list, definitely you'll get an email notification before we go live. Subscribe to our channel as well so you can get those on your social media channels. We should have been on Facebook Live today, but had a little technical issue. So we're on Instagram Live, and this will be also posted as a podcast as well as on our YouTube as well. All right, so this is just going to be a live audio. There will be no visuals being shown. Piece of paper, pen and paper may be useful for what we're going to be going over today. Now, why is this so important? Why is this a topic? We all play the role of a customer. Every day of our life, we're playing the role. I mean, unless you're out on the street, God forbid, you're not, but we're paying somebody. Essentially, that person that company likely wants their money, and you're a customer to them. Unless they're a debt collector or something like that, they're probably not marketing to you, but you're a customer to them. So even they, in their mind, are mapping out how to get money, how to bring in revenue, and then everything else involved in that. In being a business, you got shipping for a lot of companies, you got accounting, which is going to have processes. Customer service and sales everybody has processes and procedures. So journey mapping is nothing new. This has always had to be. It's just a fancy term. Maybe you've gotten on the whiteboard before and started mapping things out before. That's essentially what journey mapping is. So what is journey mapping? Really what it is a visual representation, a visual representation of the exact process it takes to accomplish a specific goal. It's not just related to sales. It's not just related to customer service. It's related to all kind of processes. A lot of them. So a visual representation of the exact process it takes to accomplish a specific goal. That's what journey mapping is. So let's talk about a couple use cases. Let's say a company is developing a new mobile app. They would create a journey map, a new mobile app. They're going to create a journey map to understand the user's experience from the moment they download that app to completing specific tasks or achieving, specific goals within the app. So they're going to want to map this out. They're not going to just say, I want an app that solves everybody's questions before they even think about them. Okay, that's a great idea to have, but you still got to be able to put that together. And that's what journey mapping is for. The journey map would include touch points, emotions, pain points, opportunities for improvement. It kind of is where you kind of get detailed into understanding what is it going to take to be able to get people interested, and not just one person, but potentially thousands, millions. And you have to do it over and over and over again, which is why your journey map actually always, it should be updating. So again, your journey map should include touch points, emotions, pain points, opportunities for improvement. This helps the company identify areas where the app can be more intuitive, user friendly, align with the customer expectations. Again, if you're building that app that wants to answer questions before anybody thinks about it, you got to be able to understand who's going to want this, because everybody may not want that. What are those people, for those people who want this, what are they going to be thinking? What are they going to be going through today? What are they possibly going to go through in the next few years that's going to cause them to want something like this? That's what the journey map will help you kind of figure out. And again, this journey map is essential for a lot of different things. But just specifically for this scenario, we're just talking about building a mobile app and how they would use it. For example, the journey map might, it might reveal struggles with the onboarding process. That may be something that comes out in your journey map, which will, of course, lead you to create more focus on making the initial setup more seamless. Right now, one of your challenges or one of your goals right now may be to get another 10% in revenue, or maybe to cut down 10% on recruiting, things like that. Well, to be able to do that, yeah, sure. You may start at, well, what are our expenses right now? Okay, can we find a cheaper vendor? Can we find a cheaper company? That may be the start. But eventually you're going to get to the point where, well, we've maximized all that. We've negotiated all the contracts. We still want to keep getting better. You're going to have to put that on a map and really, really understand, how are we performing today? How do we want to perform in the next, tomorrow, moving forward? And how can we get there specifically? And that map is going to tell you exactly how to get there. Let's say you're a telecommunications company that wants to, enhance the customer service experience. Of course, you're going to create a journey map, right? How do you know if you're a telecommunications company? How are you really going to know how many reps you need? How many individuals are needed? How are you going to know when somebody calls and asks this question, what exactly you want your team to do? Got to have some kind of, there's SOPs for that as well. But the journey map will help bring that SOP to life and help it be even more effective. So this telecommunications company is going to definitely want to use a journey map to enhance that experience. They're going to want to visualize the end-to-end customer journey, starting from the moment a customer, faces an issue, has a question. We all want to think, oh, I'm posting on social media every day. I have people clicking my link, going to my website. You may even be kind of happy with your conversions right now. I'm converting 5% into leads, things like that. Well, what if you can get it to 6 or 7? Would you be able to hire somebody else that can bring in another $100,000 in revenue potentially? Like, you got to kind of think like that when it comes. Journey mapping helps you really, really scale. It helps you really scale. Again, it's going to include, for this kind of telecommunications company, it's going to include touch points like phone calls, online chat, in-store interactions. Think about when you go inside of a Macy's, or you go inside of a Foot Locker, whatever it may be, you may not think that they have some kind of plan in place for the time that you walk inside, but they do. Now, it may not be put on a journey map, but I can guarantee you, if you are an agency out there, for an example, you're going to want to create a journey map for how you will be able to attract them as a customer, you're also going to want to use a journey map to be able to show them how there's opportunities out there that they're not quite taking advantage of. For an example, when somebody walks in the store, when I walked in the store, nobody looked at me. If you have people who acknowledge things like that. So again, journey mapping is very important. It's just a visual representation. It's like if you go into your car right now and say, I just want to drive. I want not to the store, not somewhere local, somewhere you've never been. Let's just say you're going to drive to another state. And there's a meeting you have to go to or event you have to go to, and you're going to drive to this other state 20 miles out. And you say you don't have a map, no GPS. It's going to be very hard to get there. You're going to take a while to get there. You're going to take a long time to get there compared to somebody who's mapped it out, compared to someone who has accounted for all the different things that are going to happen, all the different things that can possibly happen. That person who has a map is going to definitely get there at a more efficient rate. And that's why journey mapping is so important. Now, when it comes to creating your journey map, there's going to be some tools that you're going to want to use. You don't have to use tools. You can go to a $5 store if you have one, and a Dollar General or something like that. Find some kind of whiteboard. You can get some piece of paper and you can, map it out yourself. But if you are a tools person, which honestly, some people can get too into tools and then next thing you know, they're not using any. But if you are a tools person, there are some tools that I'll recommend for you when it comes to creating that journey map. One company that I'll just recommend first, just because I'm familiar with them, is Lucidchart. All right, Lucidchart. They're about $8 a month, probably $10 a month. Never know at this time, but $8 to $10 a month. Probably have some kind of discounts available. But Lucidchart is going to give you pretty much everything you need to be able to get started with creating those, some kind of visual representation, some kind of flow chart where you can say, okay, here's what I want to accomplish. How do I what needs to happen? What exactly needs to happen? What's step A, A to Z, not just A and B, but A, B, C, D, E, F. Every single step needs to be mapped out. And if there's if and scenarios, it needs to be there as well. If there's scripting that needs to be implemented, that scripting can be in there as well. If there are links that can be implemented, those links can be implemented all into the Lucidchart. So about $8 to $10 a month. I would say maybe the most popular as well. So if you're looking, at popularity, that's a popular one. Now, some other ones that, just being honest, I kind of use ChatGPT to look up some of these. So look them up, but CX Journey, look those up. The pricing is not available right now, so you probably need to go on their website and ask for it. There's another company called Smaply, SM as in Mary, APLY. They have plans that start at $29 a month. Again, these are tools that you can use for journey mapping. Canvanizer, they have free plans available. So if you want to try a free plan, they have a free plan available. There's a company called Touchpoint Dashboard. All right. Now, this one is going to have, probably a little bit more involved to it because theirs start at $200 per month for up to 3 users. So if you have a bigger team, still going to cost you about, $70 a month per user, which is more than what some of these other companies offer. So there's some options out there for you to get started. Again, understanding what the journey map is going to be a little bit more important than the tool you use right now. And that's why we're going to actually create that journey map. But I want to specify how we're going to do it. I want to do this when it comes to Facebook ads. All right. Because if you're not using Facebook ads right now, my goal is to understand why. for one. Why? Because sometimes people they just used them before and didn't find it effective. Some people feel like their audience isn't on social media, whatever it may be. But we want to know why. When it comes to Facebook ads, if you haven't seen any of our posts on, social media, or any of our ads by chance, or if you're not on our email list or anything like that, Facebook ads essentially is accounting for your audience who spends time on Instagram and Facebook. If you don't believe your audience on Instagram and Facebook, you might be, I don't know, you may be working some kind of offshore company, or who knows, right? Because there are industries out there where their customer base may not be anywhere on social media, but it's very, very rare. Look up any statistic you want about how much time people spend on social media. And you may be surprised, because you may be like, dang, I spend more time than what the average person spends, so don't overthink the impact of getting your content out to people, because the entire goal of making sales is getting people to go to the places where they make sales, where you can get their credit card information, where they pay. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't paying. You don't necessarily exchange credit card information for the most part on social media. That's, of course, getting better and more increasing over time. But anywhere that you are selling something, you need to have content out there where your audience is. If you are selling something, your audience is on YouTube, you should probably have something on YouTube. Even if you haven't posted something in 6 years, at least have something on YouTube for when they go on there, they can see something. It doesn't mean that you need to post some, something that not valuable and going to benefit your company, but you need to have something. Social media, you probably need to be a little bit more active when it comes to social media, but you don't have to post 10 times a day or anything like that. You just need to do you look like a real company? You will be surprised how many companies make millions of dollars a year. A lot of companies have $1 billion valuations because, of course, they have investments, and they have probably just as many followers as you. They probably have 500. They probably have 1,000. Some of them have 10,000. Yotpo's one of them. There's plenty of companies out there that you can look up that make millions a year, and their social media following is not good. Just like ours. So don't focus on followers. Understand that. Just know that the people who make decisions are not people who are sitting on social media necessarily engaging all day. You're probably not going to get 1,000 people watching your live video. That's probably not going to happen, or that's not the point. The point is to have content out there, so when your target audience does start looking around and snooping around and wanting to learn more, they will see, oh, okay, I kind of like this. They're credible, whatever it is that you want them to see. All right. So when it comes to Facebook ads, your audience is on social media anyway. So if you're trying to drive people to your podcast, if you're trying to drive people to YouTube or to your website or to your blog, whatever it is, social media, Facebook ads is going to make sure that the people who are on Instagram and Facebook, studies show at least an hour a day. A lot of people on there more. You're going to be a part of it. If you go through Facebook and your Instagram, you'll notice when you go through your feed, about 1 of every 2 or 3 posts are going to say sponsored. And that's because people, companies are spending, about billions of dollars a year to advertise on Meta's platforms, on Facebook and Instagram. So this isn't anything that you have to necessarily be sold on. You just have to understand how to use it so you're not wasting money. You're going to spend some money on Facebook ads and not make some money at the beginning. That's just usually how it is. But if you have an effective sales strategy already, a sales process that's already converting, then just know that doesn't just stop. You're going to continue to make sales You're only going to make more if you implement Facebook ads, if you're already making sales today. If you're thinking of starting a business, this is only going to advance the process of you being able to get to where you want to go. It's hard to start from scratch and just start posting on your social media and think that's going to necessarily get, where you want to go. Now, when it comes to creating that journey map, when it comes to Facebook ads and leveraging Facebook ads, you're creating this flow. You're creating this visual of how you want your Facebook ad campaign to be. All right. So you're going to start with a starting point. All right. So on your map, you need to put, as you're writing this down or mapping this out, you need to have a starting point. So just put something where, okay, this is where we're starting. The next thing you need to do, step 2, when you're creating your Facebook ad campaign, you need to define your campaign objective. You need to define your campaign objective, all right, which is you're determining the main goal or the objective of your Facebook ad campaign, such as increasing brand awareness, driving website traffic, generating leads, or boosting sales. Now, there's a reason why when you're creating a Facebook ad campaign, Meta, one of the most successful corporations out there, requires you to do this. This is how they make you spend money with them. They don't say that this is optional. I always say this when I'm working with people. They don't say that this is optional. They require you to set up the ad this way. Why? It's because anything you do when it comes to trying to generate marketing or sales, it should be set up in a specific way. All right. So the campaign starts with, what is your objective? Are you trying to generate brand awareness? Are you trying to drive website traffic, generate leads? Think about when you are doing a campaign and you say, ooh, I want to sell this book. I want to sell this book, or I want to sell this ebook, whatever it may be. Do you start like this? Do you start with, okay, how am I going to generate brand awareness? How am I going to get people to go to the website or Amazon? How am I going to get leads? What am I going to do with those leads? Number 3, after you define your campaign objective, the third thing you want to do is identify your target audience. Define your target audience based on, demographics, interests, behaviors. This is what Facebook ads allows you to do. You can define your target audience based on demographics, interests, behaviors. There's a lot of other relevant factors. For an example, if you are an event venues business, or if you're an event venue business, or if you're in that industry, what do you think people do when they get married? They usually update their Facebook. What do people, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people do that. They update their relationship status. What do people do when they want to celebrate a birthday? They have they post something. So these are things that Facebook Meta actually allows you to target. So if you want to run a campaign, and not just for 30 days or 60, you can have this going all year. And doesn't mean you have to spend millions of dollars on it. But if you're making 10 million, might as well spend $1 million. And that's how Facebook ads work. That's how paid advertising works. So if that's what's happening, if that's what your goal is, then that's what you're going to need to define in your target audience. So number 3, you need to identify your target audience. Number 4, you need to create your ad creative. You need to create your creative. So when you post something on social media, you are posting a creative. So essentially, you're posting some kind of content. It could be a video. It could be an image. It could be a carousel where it's a mixture of both. Facebook ads allows you to do some kind of instant experience, what they call it, but you're still there's still basically creatives. It's just assets, content. But Facebook ads allows you to publish that and present that in a lot of different ways. So you want to develop engaging visuals, compelling copy, and a clear call to action for your ads. the difference between one of the differences between just posting on your feed outside of you can't target your audience and all that other good stuff. When you post on your feed, you cannot include a call to action like a link, something where people can just click and then go. Notice that when you put a link on your feed on Instagram, there is nothing that people can click. On Facebook, you can put a link in your description on your post and they can click, but you can't on Instagram. So it's better to be able to have that call to action. Plus, there's other reasons that Facebook ads are better as well, because you can have a lot of different descriptions showing. So those captions that so many people rely on, you can have 4 or 5 different captions showing, and Facebook is going to push out the best one that's people are responding to better. The next, so far you have the starting point. Number 2, you define the campaign. Number 3, you identify the target audience. Number 4, create the ad creative. Number 5, choose ad placement. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Most people are going to choose to place their ad anywhere on Facebook and Instagram that it allows you. So that's your feed, that's stories, that's that's everywhere. Things that you don't even think about. You're going to see ads. Your ads are going to be placed there. So just know, choosing your ad placement, Facebook ads actually allows you to just hit one. They have an option where it's just put my ad everywhere. The next thing you want to do is number 6, set budget and schedule. You do need to understand what setting your budget and schedule is. You need to determine what your ad budget and schedule is, including, the total amount you're willing to spend. That's one thing. And the duration of your campaign. There needs to be some reality into this as well. Anything when it comes to paid advertising, is anything business as well. It's not about just what you're spending. It's about what you're getting back in return. I mean, trust me, it's going to be hard to make $100,000 and spend $100. I mean, just now, if you say I'm willing to spend $5,000 for $100,000, then you just got to understand, you still got to think that is $5,000. Now it's still hard to get $100,000 out of $5,000. So the reality is, it takes money to make money. Now, there's a lot of different routes you can go. You can spend $50 and get this popular influencer page or Instagram page to post something on their feed. That could help too. But that's a one-time thing. And guess what? They do that all day, every week. That's going to be, that's going to wear off after a while. Give it a good week or two. And then you can say, oh, I can just keep doing that. And that could be my marketing. Okay, that's fine. That could work. As long as you have a good strategy in place and you stick to it. But Facebook ads can only boost that strategy. And the reason why is, when we go back to your audience, you can have a campaign running that is retargeting anybody who is engaged with your Facebook or Instagram profile. So let's say you do choose to implement the influencer strategy where you the strategy where you pay a popular profile to post one of your posts, your content. And let's just say that you do get people to engage. So even if it's 10 people who engages with your profile, meaning they clicked on your profile, well, now you have 10 more people who are going to be added to your Facebook ad retargeting. So now they're going to get all the ads, which you're going to want to have multiple ads, not just one, but you can have one, but you're going to have multiple. All the ads that you have pushing for that audience, you're going to now be showing to them now, since they've engaged, even if they looked and was like, okay, bye. Now, obviously, you're going to want to optimize your profile to not have people just looking. You're going to want to have them follow your page, maybe click the link in your bio. Really, you're going to want to have them binge watch any content that you have before they say bye. All right. Now, the next thing you want to do after setting your budget and schedule is launch your ad campaign. Now, I know this is just quick steps. All of this takes strategy and this is all takes time, but these are the steps. You're going to launch the campaign, which means you're going to start running your Facebook ads. If you decide to run $1 a day, then it's not going to be a whole lot to look at. It's just on a day-to-day basis. You're not going to see a whole lot if you're spending $5 a day on 5 ads. But if you decide to be in that $50, $100 a day, $1,000 a day, there's companies out there spending, of course, a lot more. You're going to be on these ads pretty much consistently, hour by hour, monitoring, which is the next step, monitoring your ad performance, keeping an eye on the performance of your ads. There's times where you may think your ad is running and it's not even running. There's times where you may like, "Ooh, I spent $500 on my ads." Turns out you're only spending $500 on 3 of the 10 ads you thought you were going to be budgeting across, because 7 of the ads still are not active because they just haven't been activated yet. Because it takes time to go from publishing to actually being active. So sometimes those ads become active at different times, even though you publish them at the same time. So there's a lot of different things that goes on. Sometimes you may, believe it or not, people have broken links out there where you click a link and it goes nowhere. Maybe their lead forms are broken where they think that they're getting people's lead information, contact information, but actually they're not getting anything because their form is broke. So there's all kind of things. There's bots you got to watch for, of course. So you got to monitor ad performance, which is what, you probably need to get some help with. That's why you have Facebook ad agencies like ourselves, the Coaching You, work with things like that. The next thing you want to do is analyze results. Number 9, analyze results. Again, you're building out your journey map. So you need to have about 9 different boxes right now that have these steps in there. Number 9, the 9th box should say analyze results. The next step in your journey will be analyzing results. Analyze the data and the metrics that were collected. How many video views did you get? How much time were they watching? How many people did watch 25% of your videos versus how many people watched 75%? How many people watched if it was a 15-second video, did they watch the full 15 seconds? How many clicks did you get? How many link clicks versus how many clicks overall? Because there's a difference there. How many impressions did you get versus the reach? The reach is different from the impressions. You may reach 500 people. And if you have 500 impressions on a carousel ad, that means that people aren't really swiping. They're seeing it, but they're not really swiping. So number 10, you want to optimize and make adjustments. All right. You want to optimize and make adjustments. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to make changes every single day. That doesn't get you where you want to be necessarily. The goal isn't to launch with errors. So if you have errors that you're fixing, you need to fix those right away. But if it becomes a situation where you feel like you're not getting the results you want and you're updating your ads every day, you need to go back to your journey map and see, is my strategies really working? Am I targeting the right audience? Is the content really what it needs to be? So you need to optimize and make adjustments based on your goals. Are you getting where you need to be? Number 11 is in the end. This is the end of your Facebook ad flowchart. So that's it. So there's 11 steps there that you have. You have the start. You got define your campaign objective. You got identify your target audience, create your ad creative, choose ad placement. Number 6, set budget and schedule. Number 7, launch ad campaign. Number 8, monitor your ad performance. Number 9, analyze the results. Number 10, optimize and make adjustments, and then you are done. Look, for journey mapping is important. Journey mapping is important for all kinds of processes. If you're not using Facebook ads, though, I'm interested to hear why. I want you to comment, subscribe, comment. What's your reason for not using Facebook ads. Also, if you do not want to create this on your own Facebook ad journey map, or if you need to see a visual representation for you to really believe that Facebook ads is worth your money, it's worth your time, effort, whatever it may be. Comment interested, comment, DM us, send us a message and let us know. We'll get that over to you, create it personalized for your business, not just some, template, but we're going to do it personally for you as well. That's really it. That's the end of this episode. I appreciate everybody joining. Again, I know it's early, but it's never too early to get better than you were yesterday. Hope you join again next week. This is the Coaching You Live podcast.